As the Carolinas begin to rebuild in the aftermath of that hurricane, Puerto Rico is still recovering more than a year after Hurricanes Irma and Maria. In recent weeks, President Trump has touted his administration's response to the disaster, which includes the allocation of major grant money and pulling back regulations to expedite the process. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, has been leading that charge, implementing a total of $20 billion of relief, including a recent $1.5 billion grant to rebuild homes and businesses and restore power. HUD Secretary Ben Carson just returned from Puerto Rico and sat down with One America's Emerald Robinson to discuss those recovery efforts.
First of all, I was very encouraged to see the work that's been done, recognizing that this was an unprecedented disaster. I mean, you had two hurricanes in a row, back to back. You had the entire island affected, no electricity, compromised water supplies, energy for everything else that you needed. And the road system, you got 16,700 miles of road there. Only 400 of it was usable because of all the debris and the breakage. So, you know, to spring back from that was going to take a lot. Combine that with the fact that it's non-contiguous, like the other states, where in Texas, you know, you had people rolling in from all other places with all kinds of aid. You don't have that on an island situation. So considering all that, I think the response was tremendous, and that normality has largely been restored. You know, 99.99% of houses now have electricity, which is actually better than it was before the storm started. $20 billion, that is the largest grant that HUD has ever made in its entire history to anybody. So when people say, what do you think about the unfairness and the way Puerto Rico is being treated, I say, well, admittedly, they've got more than anybody else, but I don't think it's unfair because, you know, they also had the biggest disaster. And, you know, we respond accordingly. We have waived at least 19 different regulations that would normally slow things down. You know, certain types of environmental reviews that were redundant, for instance, but each one required several months to accomplish. Those are the kinds of things, and that's why I say, you know, we have certain time limits that we normally have. We're several months ahead in terms of allocating funds for this disaster already. You'd never hear that from the mainstream media. You only hear bad stuff, but the fact of the matter is, you know, we've eliminated a lot of those barriers and are continuing to concentrate on that, you know, not just for a specific disaster, but in general.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.